I'm Clem and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you the different books I plan on reading during the month of November. So I don't know if I plan to read too many books. I think I did because I feel like November is going to be pretty packed. Except if in France we're going back in lockdown, which we already are, but I still have to go to work. So I can't read that much during the day because I'm at work. But if they close the school, high school and middle school, I will have to stay at home and I might have time to read more, who knows. Still, I'm going to stop talking right now and I'm going to show you the different books I want to read. So the first book on my TBR is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. So this is, I think it's a new adult and not a young adult, a novel for Leigh Bardugo. You know her, I'm sure you know her because she's the one who wrote Six of Crows, but also the Grisha trilogy. I've been wanting to read this book for so long, since it came out, because it's really intriguing. In this book, you're following Alex, and Alex was offered a place at Yale University by the dean. But actually Alex is not a good student. He came to a hospital bed and she was wearing handcuffs, and he basically proposed her to join Yale and to supervise the activity of the secret societies in Yale, and so she accepts. I started to read this yesterday and I've read 20 pages and so far I don't understand a thing. It's really blurry. I hope it's going to make sense. I'm sure it's going to make sense actually, because I'm just at the beginning of the book, but I feel like it's a pretty rough start because there's a lot of information that I don't have, and I don't like it because when I can't understand directly what the book is about, I have a hard time reading it, and I know now that I'm going to have a hard time reading this book. Still, I'm really excited to read it and see if I'm going to like it. The second book I'm going to show you is actually my audiobook for the month. So if you don't know, at the beginning of the year, I challenged myself to listen at least to one audiobook per month. Since at the beginning of the year, I subscribed to Scrib, which I love, by the way. And so this month I'm actually listening to The Case for Jamie by Brittany Cavallero. So this is the first book in the Charlotte Holmes Quartet series. If you don't know what this series is about, it's basically you're following the descendant of Sherlock Holmes and Watson, and Dr. Watson, what's his name? I can't remember the name of the real Watson. James Watson? Huh? Who am I? Huh. Anyway, so you're following the descendants of Sherlock, and here it's a girl. Her name is Charlotte, and you're following Jamie Watson, who is a descendant of Dr. Watson, and they play on the fact that their ancestors were friends and that they were resolving crime, and basically Charlotte and Jamie are going to resolve crime, but it's not like in a yay, happy way, but it's really gloomy and dark at some point. I really like it. So here we find our characters a year after what happened at the end of the second book. So far it's really good. I really like it. I really enjoy listening to this in audiobook because there is a woman who reads the Charlotte chapters and a man who reads the Jamie chapters, and I really like it. I don't really know what's supposed to happen in this one. I haven't read the synopsis before rereading it, and I'm not going to tell you because if you haven't read the first two books, I think it's going to be full of spoilers, and I'm not going to do that. This month I also would like to read another Leigh Bardugo book, and it's the last book in the Grisha trilogy, so Roan and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. So I've read the first two books last year, or maybe it was the year before. No, last year. I completely enjoyed them. I was in love with it. It was really great, better than what I thought, because I heard a lot of mixed feelings on this trilogy. And so I have the last one remaining. I started it, I think, in September, so I read 50 pages and I had to stop because I hadn't time to read it. But now it's time for me to read it, to pick it up, to continue my reading, and also to finish this trilogy before the Netflix series comes out, even though we have no clue when this is going to be, and I'm starting to get upset because I want news about this TV series. I want it so bad. Next, this month I also would like to read a classic because so far I've read 3 classics out of 5, and it was my initial challenge at the beginning of the year. So this month I would like to read Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I've already read it, how many times have I read Pride and Prejudice? I don't remember. But this time I want to read this pretty edition that I bought in September, October, like not that long ago, because it's beautiful and it's a good excuse to reread Pride and Prejudice, which is one of my favorite books. Yeah, it's been a while since I haven't read it, so I'm really happy to read it again. And yeah, basically I don't really know what to tell you because I'm sure you all know Pride and Prejudice, and if you don't, who are you? Where have you been? Hello, welcome. This is a masterpiece. Next, I plan on reading Beast Boy by Camille Garcia and Gabrielle Piccolo. So this is the second book in the Teen Titans graphic novel, comic. I don't really remember. But basically, Gabrielle Piccolo is an artist on Instagram, and he is drawing a lot of the Teen Titans, and he had the opportunity to be part of the project of the Teen Titan comic. And so the first one was about Raven, and so in this one we're following Beast Boy, and the next one that comes out next year is going to be about the 2 of them and their love story, so I'm really excited. So yeah, I know nothing about Beast Boy, and actually I don't really know a thing about Titans because I've never watched it when I was a kid, and I had to watch the series on Netflix because one of my best friends was obsessed by it and I never did. Maybe I'm going to do it after reading it, who knows. But I think he has something in his DNA that allows him to turn into any animals. I think that's why he's called Beast Boy. I mean, makes sense. And that's pretty much all I know, and I'm really excited. And also it's going to be good to read a short book during the month of November, because so far I only have big books. And the last book on this TBR is Orit by Katrina Leno. So I've talked about this in my wrap-up. I'm going to link it here. Not my wrap-up, my book haul. And the last book on this TBR is going to be Orit by Katrina Leno. So I've talked about this book when I hauled it in my previous book haul. Like, I'm going to link it here if you're interested. And this book is really blurry for me and really mysterious because I don't really understand what it's about. I'm going to read you the thingy here because it's going to be, I think, clearer than what I can do. Is this grief, mental illness, or something more horrid? Following her father's death, Jane North Robinson and her mom, Ruth, moved from sunny California to dreary, dilapidated old house in Maine where Ruth grew up. All they want is a fresh start, but behind North's manor's door lurks a history that leaves them feeling more alone and more tortured. As the cold New England autumn arrives and Jane settles into a new home, she finds solace in old books and memories of her dad. She steadily begins making friends, but Jane also faces bullying from the resident bad seed and struggles to tempt down her own worst nature in response. Ruth seems to be spiraling with the return of her childhood home, but she won't reveal why. Then Jane discovers that the storage room Ruth has kept locked isn't for storage at all. It is a little girl's bedroom left untouched for years and not quite as empty of inhabitants as it appears. So you see, like, there's definitely something about ghosts and something about the main character, Jane, but also about her mom. Like, so many secrets and so many, I think, layers to the story that I can't wait to unravel, but it still seems weird, but interesting. But actually, this book, I might not read it this month because this month, on the 5th, actually on the Thursday, like, it's already out when you see this video, the second book in the Camelot Rising trilogy is coming out, so the Camelot Betrayal. and I pre-ordered it and it should arrive at some point during the month. So if the book arrives early, I'm going to read this one instead of Orit. But if it's too late in the month and I know I'm not going to be able to complete it before the end of the month, I will keep it for December. But this book might not be in my wrap-up, like, just so you know. So yeah guys, that's it for my TBR. Tell me in the comments down below what you plan on reading during this month, or if you read any of the book I mentioned. I would love to talk about it with you after I finish reading. Anyway, don't forget to like this video if you did, and I will see you next time. Bye!